Hi. Um, this isn't going to be the greatest quality video. Um, I'm in my office. I have video equipment. Um, Nothing's working right today. But anyways, this is an impromptu video. I've been thinking about getting started on my vlogs again. I did some for the church page for a while, and I really enjoyed it. We had a few viewers that seemed to enjoy the vlogs that we were doing. Um, some of these vlogs I'm going to be doing are going to be cross posted on my farm page, on the church Facebook page, the church YouTube, my personal YouTube, uh, farm YouTube. It just depends on the topic. I've been thinking about getting restarted on the vlogs for a while, and I was thinking, hey, today would be a great day to do it. Um, but I had some chores and stuff I was going to do today, and then some projects that have been going incomplete for a while. Um, and I was going to work on those and then clean up and come over to my office and do a vlog. Um, However, one of my morning chores right now is don't pay any attention to the clock because it's wrong. It's right twice a day. But anyways, one of my morning chores is bottle feeding a couple of 5-week-old baby goats. And I have to use formula because mom is just not producing the milk this time around. And just like with human babies, formula for goats tends to produce an undesired end result. And so while I was feeding, one of the babies was jumping on me, and she had some of that undesirable end result on her hooves. Got it all over me, all over my clothes, and so I decided to go ahead and clean up, take a shower, and I figured before I go outside to my shop and start working, I'd come in here and do a vlog first before I get dirty again. So these vlogs are, excuse me, I'm still at the end of bronchitis. I'm over it, but after bronchitis for 2-3 weeks, you are constantly coughing. So, anyways, the vlogs, of course, are about things that are near and dear to me. Gosh, Bible, prepping, wilderness survival, hunting, fishing, hiking, off-roading, farming, family, and conspiracy theorism, which a lot of the stuff that I've gotten into since I've lived up here in the mountains kind of got started, I guess, out of conspiracy theorism. The survivalism and the prepping and stuff like that. And so I'm going to be getting into a lot of that stuff. And of course, there's going to be a lot of things with the quote conspiracy theories that cross over with the Bible, biblical prophecy that I see playing in to today's world. There's going to be Bible stuff, just Bible talks, devotions, things like that. One thing that, as a pastor, I have, it was pounded in my head for a few years, 2 or 3 years before I started pastoring, and it was a very good thing. Context, context, context. The problem with Western Christianity, modern Western Christianity, is too many Christians try to take the Bible and apply it with Western traditions, customs, laws, things like that, and it just doesn't work. The Bible is a Middle Eastern book. It is written by Middle Eastern men um, under Middle Eastern customs, traditions, laws, and beliefs. And so, if we first approach the Bible from that aspect, we're going to learn a lot more. We're going to understand it a lot better, and also be able to better apply it to our lives. Um, that being said, um, I wouldn't actually call myself a conspiracy theorist, although that's what people better understand. So, when people ask me if I'm a conspiracy theorist, I just say yes. Really and truthfully, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am a truth seeker. And I seek truth in context. Uh, I research a lot. I have ADHD. I dislike reading with a passion. My passionate dislike for reading is to the extreme that most passionate readers love reading. Example, my wife or my daughter pick up a really good book that they're into and they're reading it. The house could be burning down around them and they wouldn't notice. I'm the opposite of that extreme when it comes to reading. I hate reading. Um, I actually have to discipline myself to sit down and to study and to research, even for putting sermons together. I have to discipline myself to sit down and to study and to research. Bible preaching, teaching is not a foreign thing for me. Reading is. I love history. I love modern history. I love ancient history. I love Bible prophecy, Old and New Testament. I love political history, military history. And so when I study, and especially when I'm researching conspiracy theories, um, I all of that goes into play. And so when I talk about context, I do not want to be one of those that is guilty of um, researching to find my truth. I don't want to prove what I believe. I want to find the truth, whatever the truth is. If the truth disproves my belief, then I will continue searching that out to find whether or not that is the real truth and whether or not I need to change what I believe and what I'm teaching. Um, I am a Baptist, more specifically, a landmark missionary Baptist. And, as such, sometimes we're more dogmatic in our doctrine than others, less moving, less flexible. But one of the things that I told the church when they were looking at me whether I was going to be a pastor or not here, um, one of the things I told the church is I would not teach missionary Baptist doctrine because it's missionary Baptist doctrine. I would teach missionary Baptist doctrine if it was biblical doctrine. And I don't study to prove missionary Baptist doctrine. I study to find biblical doctrine, biblical truth. And so when I'm seeking truth or I'm searching out one of these conspiracy theories, I apply the same methods. I don't want to prove my truth. I don't want to prove what I believe. I want to find the truth. And so I look at liberal reports and news. I look at conservative reports and news. I look at independent, middle of the road, moderate. I try to take all extremes, and then I connect the dots of the common threads, the common thoughts, the common proofs, if you will, and then I take those and I run those down. So when I bring something to you and I tell you I've researched this or this is what I believe, understand that it is exhaustive. I've used an exhaustive approach. Um, because I am not a parrot, I don't want you to be a parrot. And so um, you will rarely, sorry, I have the window of my office is right here, and there's a cedar tree right outside the window, and the wind's kind of blowing, and there's a crack in the blinds, and I could see that, like I ADHD saw that, got to see what it was. Anyways, where was I? Anyways, I'm not gonna be the vlogger or video blogger that says this is what I found, this is where you find it. So you can go straight to it and go, oh yeah, he's right. I'll tell you I've studied this out. Um, I'll give you the direction of the different sources that I've used so that you can go and study it yourself. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take my word and test it and come to your own conclusion. I love teaching. Um, but the way I teach, even as a pastor, when I'm preaching on Sunday mornings, I don't want the congregation to take what I tell them and just swallow it. I encourage them. I put all the Bible verses up on the screen, um, and sometimes I do show my sources. Um, and if someone comes later on and says, "Hey, where did you find this?" I'll turn them on to the source, especially in the congregation. But I want them to take what I say, what I teach, and go study it out themselves. I want them to make it real to them. And the only way you're going to make it real to you is if you study it yourself. I can tell you a particular cut of meat, um, cooked or aged or marinated or seasoned in a particular way is the absolute best you will ever taste, and you will never go back to eating X, Y, and Z ever again. And if you take that and believe it without testing it yourself, it's not real to you. It's just my word. So, excuse me, sometimes I will give you websites and books and newspapers and magazine articles. But most of the time, I will just say, I will point in the general direction because I want you to find it yourself. Um, Basically, I'm sharing what I believe. That's it. Um, a lot of it's um, my opinion based on a lot of study. So I hope they're fun. So 13 minutes down now. This is going to be a little bit longer video than I really intended it for it to be. Uh, First topic: conspiracy theory. Um, I've been asked, why are conspiracy theorists so afraid? Or what are they afraid of? Why are they always paranoid? Well, if you take the term conspiracy theory and look and kind of break it down, true conspiracy theorists are afraid or paranoid. Um, the conspiracy theorist, to the truest word of the definition, absolutely trusts nothing. And they are paranoid. The government's out to get me. This is out to get me. The aliens are coming. The earth is going to split in half. The zombies are coming. The vampires are coming. Whatever the case may be, which is why you get a lot of preppers and why a lot of people do prep and learn survival skills. That's not me. I just want to find the truth, and it's not so I can look over my shoulder. It's not so I can be afraid. It's not so I can pass fear on to others. It's just so I can be informed and I know what to look for so I can better take care of my family. Really. We have a farm. We raise our own meat and eggs and dairy when the goats are actually giving milk. We raise our own vegetable garden. I hunt. I fish. My fishing. I need to oil this chair. My fishing season started at the beginning of this week, and I have not been very successful yet. But anyways, so I've learned how to survive and provide for my family um, outside of the grocery store. Um, you know, if you even if you live in the city, New York City or L.A. or Dallas or just a big massive metropolis city, you can walk out your front door and you can look around and you can see groceries if you know where to look. Um, and so that's the type of quote conspiracy theorist I am. That's the type of quote prepper I am. Not healthy. I know. Sorry. I like a good zero sugar version of the my favorite cola. I'm not. I'm not being sponsored by anybody right now, so I'm not going to do advertisements. I guess anyway. Uh, but I kind of like the X Files from the '90s. The truth is out there. Um, I don't know that I believe in aliens, like extraterrestrials. If there are real extraterrestrials, I believe that they're celestial beings, angels, and demons. Um, and on that, yes, there are real extraterrestrials. They're angels and demons. They're spiritual beings. Um, I don't know that I believe that there are beings from like corporeal beings from other planets. I've not found anything to make me believe that. But anyways, um, but I want to find the truth. I want to know what's coming. I want to know how to prepare. Um, I don't want to always look over my shoulder. Um, I'm not one of those survivalists or preppers that when you walk into my prepping space, it looks like you've walked into an episode of Hoarders. We do have some goods put away, but I won't tell you what it is or how much we have. But my family could survive for a short period of time on the goods that we put away. Um, Subsisted, of course, with living off the land. So, anyways, some of the vlogs we're going to look at conspiracy theories, the conspiracy theories, um, and a lot of what I do when I research these theories or these conspiracies is most conspiracy theorists, most preppers, um, are preparing for the end of the world, whatever that apocalypse might be. That's what they're preparing for. As a Christian, the apocalypse I'm preparing for is the book of Revelation. A lot of Christians believe that God or Jesus is going to come back before the tribulation period, before everything breaks loose, and he may. But my studies and stuff, I've found um, that I believe that Christians are going to go through at least half of the tribulation period, if not three-fourths of it, before Jesus comes back. But even if Jesus comes back at the very beginning of it, there's a lot of bad stuff that's going to take place before everything breaks loose, before the fecal matter hits the air circulation unit, if you will. If that made your head hurt, then good. But anyways, so a lot of the studying out that I do for conspiracy theories has to do with apocalypse, end of the world, and I take like the UN agendas um, and the things in the news that's going on, and I look at world history, I look at biblical history, I look at the prophecies in the Bible, and I try to see what's lining up with the prophecies, what's lining up with these government agendas, the world government agendas, and and I try to find the connections there. And very rarely will I say this is what's going to happen because I don't know. I make the connections and I can say the Bible says this, We are seeing this taking place in the world. This is what we need to look for. Just an example, and then we'll the end of the video. Um, the past 20 or 30 years, we have these guys that claim to be Christians, claim to be prophets. I don't. I do not disbelieve that. I do not believe that prophecy has ended. Um, a prophet is someone who brings a message from God. So no, I don't believe prophecies are ended. But anyways, that's a whole different video. But we have these guys that say they're prophets or whatever over the past 20, 30, 40 years that have been pinpointing the date that Jesus is going to come back. The Bible says Jesus doesn't even know when he's coming back. Now we're at the point now where uh, God the Father is looking over at God the Son, saying, "Okay, it's time to start getting ready. You're getting ready to go." Um, being as the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, the Godhead, the Trinity, are non-linear. They are eternal. They don't have timelines. That could be another 1,000 years from now. I don't believe so, because Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount made reference to the generation that sees the rebirth of Israel as a nation would not pass before Christ's return. Israel was reborn as a nation in 1947. A lot of people say 1948. Actually, it began in 45 or 46, I think. But Israel was reborn as a nation in 1947. We say 48 because 1948 is when the League of Nations, or UN, whichever it was at that point in time, the major world powers legally recognized Israel as a nation, as a sovereign nation. 1948. So let's go back into the Bible and look at lifespans. Um, King David, said that the life of a man is 60 and 10 years. A score is 20. So 60 is 60 plus 10, that's 70 years. Well, we've already passed the 70-year mark. That would be 2018. And that was the average lifespan of a very healthy human being at that time. And we've seen that it declined and then made a resurgence, and now people are living into their 90s, early hundreds, even hundred teens now. Let's go a little bit further back to the book of Genesis, when God said he was going to flood the earth and Noah was building the ark. Now, yes, I do believe that Noah, you can look at Noah's age, you can look at his sons' ages, and there's a couple of different places in the Bible that gives us time frames. Noah probably did work on the ark for 120 years. But in Genesis, I'm drawing a blank now. It's either chapter 6 or chapter 12. I think it's chapter 6. Yes, chapter 6. In Genesis chapter 6, when God said, "I will no longer tarry with man for more than 120 years," God did not say, "From this point on, I'm sending my flood in 120 years." No. God said, "I am limiting man's lifespan to 120 years, which is a familial generation." So human beings living to 120 years old, especially this day and age with medical and scientific advances, is not unheard of. So since we passed the 70-year mark in 2018, let's look at 120 years. Well, 100 years is going to be 2048. 120 years is going to be 2068. I'm not going to say that Jesus is coming back in 2068. I'm not going to say the end times is going to begin in 2068. I'm not going to say the tribulation period is going to begin in 2068 or end in 2068. But I do believe, when Jesus said the rebirth of Israel as a nation, which was Israel was legally recognized as a nation in 1948, go with the full human lifespan, which is 120 years, we're looking at the possibility of the end times, the tribulation period, beginning or end, or Jesus coming back around 2068. That's another 45 years, 44 and a half years from now. And the condition the world is in now and rapidly declining, there's a lot of bad stuff that's going to be happening, I believe. Or just the world's just going to decline, society's going to decline, and none of the quote conspiracies are actually going to take place. But we're still going to need survival techniques. And so, so that's one of the things, like what I'm talking about when I talk about conspiracy theories. You know, everything that I'm looking at, the timelines and everything that I'm looking at the end of humanity as we know it, somewhere around 2068. Again, I don't know that for sure. God did not whisper in my ear, "Hey, Darren, July 4th, 2068 is when Jesus is coming back." But that's what I mean when I say I look at prophecies and I look at history and I look at things that are taking place now. So when I present things as far as prophetic things from the Bible, when I look at things that are happening in the geopolitical realm, in the geosocietal realm or geocivil realm, and how it relates to the Bible, that's where I'm at with that. So I'm kind of looking at, okay, Jesus is coming back. We're looking at another 44 years, most likely, give or take a century or two. You know, so when I present things, that's how I'm presenting it. I'm presenting it as I believe we're looking at this, and this is why. So hopefully, this video helps to explain what I'll be presenting later on as far as biblical prophecy, why I'm a truth seeker or a conspiracy theorist, whatever you want to call me, why I'm a prepper, why I do this, why I do that. And then some of these videos are just going to be fun. Videos of baby goats being born, videos of processing goats or deer or fish or how I fish or off-road videos, off-roading in my 4x4, hiking. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy the vlogs. They'll be cross posted on many platforms. I have several different YouTube pages. I have a YouTube page for the church, Landmark Missionary Baptist Church of Lake Isabella, California. Loch Bonnie Farm, which is my farm. Overland Xterra Off-Road, which that's just going to be off-roading. I have a page on Blogspot, Highland Writings. And then we got a Facebook page for the church. I got a Facebook page for my farm. So a lot of platforms you'll be able to find this on, and I don't know. Hopefully, I can present something interesting to you guys that will make you search it out, try and find a different truth, or find the truth, or just make you look at something from a different point of view. Questions, comments, topics you want me to hit, biblical, political, off-roadical, prepping, conspiracy theory, or just questions about me or my family, personally or in general. Shoot me a message, throw it in the comment section. One thing I'm not going to do, if you disagree with me, you disagree with me. I'm not going to argue with you, because all it's going to do is fuel your fire, and it's going to waste my time. So, but I will entertain constructive criticism and differing points of view. So Anyways, hope you enjoy the videos. Hopefully this one wasn't too long and didn't bore you. Some will be shot here in my office. Some will be shot on my phone like this one. Some will be shot on better digital equipment, um, outside on the farm, in the truck, in the mountains, whatever. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the videos. I'm done. Bye. And I'm going to oil that chair, I promise.